All right, let's hear it for our first storyteller tonight, JeffZorn!
We were playing great team basketball. 9 minutes in, we were leading Alabama State by 17 points, and I'm thinking this game's over. An easy road win against our toughest league opponent. Wrong again. The local Montgomery referees started calling everything State's way, and by halftime our lead was 2. Now the "we" here refers to Miles College, a historically black college just outside of Birmingham. It's 1970. I'm 25 years old, in my 3rd year on the Miles faculty, and my 1st year serving as assistant volunteer basketball coach under Pete Wilkins. When I first approached Pete about helping him out, he said yes immediately, under one condition. I had to leave the referees to him. In our league of historically black colleges, I would be the first ever non-black coach, and game by game, I would be the only non-black person in the building. So I get it, I have to be prudent. Still, I was not that surprised when Pete called me aside before the second half started, and he said I would have to be the one to call the bad referees out in the second half. Pete had already gotten 1 technical foul. A second technical foul he's ejected, and that would leave the game in the hands of the hippie coach. It wouldn't work. I was expendable, Pete was not. So the second half started. The refereeing is still awful, biased against us. State pulls ahead by 10, and at the next horrible call, Pete elbowed me up out of the chair and just pointed at this referee. And I stepped on the court and I blasted away at him. That was terrible. You gotta give us a chance here, man. Quit cheating. And the referee came walking over. He's mad, gets right in my face, and tells me to sit down and shut up. Well, I don't. I'm defending my guys. I get back in his face and I call him a disgrace to your profession. And with that, he turns to the scorer's table, blows his whistle, and signals a technical foul against me. And then a second technical foul against me. And he points histrionically to the exit way across the center of the floor and orders me to just leave. I'm banished. So now I'm preparing myself for my perp walk, and only then did I hear this derision raining down on me. And only then did I get what the other 900 people in the Montgomery Civic Auditorium are thinking, which is not about basketball, like was it a charge or a block. A black man in authority had chastised a white rule breaker and now was dismissing him from view. And now I'm feeling, and there's no threat in the air at all. There's no danger. It's all jubilation of the sort that I had come to associate with civil rights marches and demonstrations. And that's why I had come to the South. So I totally surprised myself now by resolving right on the spot that I will make a spectacle of my newfound villainy. Now, I was at that time a very reserved and bookish young man, and yet now I'm finding myself putting on my face the most anguished, like oy vey-ish expression, cupping my hands over my ears to invite louder hilarity, and I'm improvising this mock tragic, part prance, part flounce, John Cleese silly walk, Joe Cockerish dance across the floor. And instantly a loud basketball game became ear-splitting party time. And people were bent over and laughing themselves silly, and people waving their arms and wooing, and people hugging each other and dancing in the aisles, and people writhing and wiggling and falling to their knees. And by the time I reached that exit tunnel, I had left hilarity in my wake. For 2, maybe 3 minutes then, I had felt like a cross-racial mirror image of Richard Pryor bringing down the house in some all-white enclave like Oslo or Stockholm or Portola Valley or maybe Yountville. Back in the locker room, I heard the final buzzer sound. We'd lost by 18. And in a few moments, the players came running in. These are my guys. And despite the loss, they were laughing themselves silly. They circled around me and tousled my hair, and we jumped up and down for maybe 2 minutes as if on pogo sticks. Now, I stayed at Miles for 3 years longer. I taught for 40 years at Santa Clara University. I never again would give such unrestrained public play to the clown in me, and I never again would bring such hilarity and heartfelt joy into the lives of so many people. Thank you.